Hi, I'm Phyllis. My website is southernfrugal.com. Today we're going to make one of the recipes from a viewer, and this is called Creme de Cucumber. That's what it's called. So I have altered the recipe because I'm going to make half of it. Now, we made it yesterday and it was delicious, and we still got some of that left, and I'll show you all that in a minute. But I'm going to first dissolve some of the lime Jello, and this is the 3-ounce pack of lime Jello, and I'm only going to use half of it, so just as much as I can figure. I'll pour about half the bag into a half cup of boiling water. Now, I just took this out of the microwave, so to do half of it, I'm just going to guess at it and say it's about right there. So, y'all see that's about half of it right there. Right there. Maybe a little more. A little more. And I'm going to save this, of course, so we can have this again. Just put one of those little clothespins on it. Put it back in the box. And when I put it back in the cabinet, I put it in there like this, so I know I've already used half of it. So we're going to have to stir this for about 2 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead now and add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And I don't know where my measuring spoon is. Well, we'll just use 3 teaspoons. That equals a tablespoon. So that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I lost my tablespoon. I thought I had it here, but I don't. All right, so we're just going to keep mixing this, and we'll talk about the recipe. We had it yesterday. I made the full recipe according to her directions, and we had it with one of those flat iron steaks, the little beef flat iron steaks with potatoes, carrots, and onions in the Instant Pot. And this went super well with that, I'll have to tell you. It really did. It was very, very good. So when you're making this, you kind of think of it like you do cranberry sauce when you have turkey and dressing. That's kind of the effect it has. It's very, very good. So in her recipe, and I'm going to read that to y'all, plus I am going to leave it an exact copy of her comment where she left the recipe right down below, and I'll put my recipe where I altered her recipe to adjust to make it smaller, a smaller amount, right down below hers. So we're going to entitle this video, Adjusting a Recipe to Your Own Taste. So what I thought when I was having that yesterday, I thought it was super, super good. But I thought, well, I've got 4 cucumbers in the refrigerator now left, even after I fixed this recipe, and so I'm going to alter this and make it again tomorrow to use up those cucumbers. And these are, let me show y'all, hold on, let me get this out. These are those cucumbers you can get in Walmart. They are grown in Canada, and they are a greenhouse cucumber. And you can find them usually up in the produce department of Walmart, up on that second shelf. That's where you can usually find them. Anyway, I think there were 8 in here. And so they're the kind that Mr. Bucky and I grew 2 or 3 years ago. They're really crisp, and I remember the seeds were called Little Crispies when we planted them. They're really, really good. And the peeling is not like real tough or anything, so I don't peel them at all. All right, so this is pretty well mixed up now. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and pour it in this bowl. Of course, it's still hot. So I'm going to put it in the freezer for about 20 minutes, and when it gets a little bit set, we'll be back. I wanted to read y'all the recipe. I don't think I said I was going to do that, and then I didn't do it. But it's called Creme de Cucumber, and it's from, I think it's Micheline Sarrail, I think is the name. Anyway, she left this comment on there goes an ambulance down our road. She left a comment on the forgotten dessert from the 1950s, that Jello recipe, and I will put her recipe first down below, and then I'll put my adjusted for 2 recipe below that. Anyway, it's 1 package of lime Jello, 1 cup of boiling water, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar is probably the best, and 1 cup of mayonnaise, and 1 cup of grated cucumber drained, and 1 tablespoon of horseradish, and 1 tablespoon of grated onion. And she said to dissolve the gelatin in the boiling water and add the vinegar and chill until partially thickened. And then you fold in the remaining ingredients and pour into a mold and chill until firm. And so I'm going to adjust the recipe because I don't have any horseradish for one thing, and I did fix the one yesterday without the horseradish. So 1/2 package of 3-ounce pack of lime Jello, 1/2 cup of boiling water, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and a dash of Louisiana hot sauce, or Texas Pete will work. That will work too. Just a dash or 2 of that, and I'm using that in place of the horseradish. And then I'm going to use about a tablespoon of grated onion, just like she did, and 1/3 cup of mayonnaise, which is going to be like 2 big tablespoons. And so we'll fix that. And while we're here, what I'm going to do is go ahead and grate the cucumbers. And I want to show those to you. These are the very same kind that we planted. I think it's probably 3 years ago. They're called Little Crispies. They don't say that name on them, but that was what we had. So I'm going to go ahead and grade all 4 of these because I wanted a lot more cucumber in mine. So I'm just altering her recipe, but the ingredients are the same except for the horseradish, which I did not have any of. So let me turn this down, way down. So I'm just using my grater on this side and just grate the whole thing. And I'm going to do all 4 of these, and then we'll be back. Now we're going to drain them a little bit. We'll be back. All right, our Jello actually set in the freezer in about 15 minutes. It's not fully set, but it's pretty well set. So what we're going to do is go ahead and add just a couple of dashes of the hot sauce to this. 1, 2. Actually, 1 missed partially. Mix that in. Also, I have actually got about 2 tablespoons of shredded onions. Put those in. Mix that in, and our shredded little cucumbers. And I want y'all to note that there's probably, I'm going to guess and say that's almost, well, I know it's at least 1/3 of a cup of the juice that drained out of these cucumbers. So this is probably 1.5 cups of the cucumbers. Put that in. Just mix it in with that Jello as best I can. And she said you could put this in a mold, but I'm going to actually just leave it in this little bowl here. Yeah, this can be like an extra vegetable for a meal. No problem. All right, now we're going to add, I'm going to say 1/3 of a cup, maybe more like 1/4 of a cup of Duke's mayonnaise. That's probably more like 1/4 of a cup. Let's see how that does. She said to just fold it in. And so when I put it back in the refrigerator, I'm just going to put it down on the bottom of the refrigerator. I put it in the freezer. It was actually only in there about 15 minutes. Because I've only got, you know, half of the Jello here. That looks very pretty. So it'll definitely get a lot thicker than this once it goes back in the refrigerator. All right, y'all, I'm going to taste of this. I know it is absolutely delicious. Oh, it's really dark. Hold on. Sorry, I got excited about making this and forgot to cut the light back on. Okay, I'm going to give it a taste. There's what it looks like. And of course it'll look just like this once it all sets back up. A lot more cucumbers and double the amount of onion is what I did. Anyway, I'm going to put both recipes below and you can compare them. Now you can adjust your recipe however you want to. It is so good. So I'm going to do another video about using leftovers, and we will have some of this with that meal too. All right, y'all, we will see you next time, which should be in just a little while. I wanted to come back. I forgot to show y'all this too. This is what we had yesterday with the flat iron steak, the beef. And here's today's with a lot more of the cucumber and half the Jello and half the mayonnaise too. But they do look similar. Now you see how it's set up? This one will set up like that too, even though I've got more cucumbers because I drained them, which is what she suggested that you should do with the recipe. Again, her recipe exactly, and my altering her recipe a little bit just to get more cucumber and onion in there. All right, now for sure we will see y'all next time.